Greetings, Decalipa here. Today I want to do something a bit more fun because recently I was watching something about Xenomorphs and it got my whole old noggin thinking about all the different aliens we've seen, films and comics, and it got me thinking about, all the special ones we've seen in film specifically. And I was just thinking, some of these dudes look really, really cool. Straight up, some of these alien designs are really good, and straight up, I was thinking about, you know what? Why don't we take a look back at all the aliens that came by? So, today, we will be looking at which alien design is, in fact, the most peak, my guy, absolute peak. Swear to God, some of these are really good, yeah. But before we get into that, do me a favor, like, comment, subscribe, share the videos around, and without further ado, yeah, let's get into the aliens. Okay, starting off, we have Calvin. It's from the film Life. Now, Calvin, that's an interesting one. Okay, you see, Calvin, he's like this ever-growing tortellini. He just gets bigger and bigger, and he's the type of alien that, he's like a big squid. He's like that kind of design, squishy and utilitarian. So like he just adopts his limbs and appendages to just grow and grow. Why he is terrifying is because in the film, he kind of is shown to be an organism that simply grows the more matter, biological matter it takes. So things like cooling fluids, bodies, blood, flesh, bone, all of that, he just grows and grows and grows. That's fantastic. But design-wise, I gotta be honest, we see this dude grow throughout the film. So he starts from like a single cell organism to what he looks like at the end. And I gotta be honest, he just looks like a shriveled up squid. Like the aftermath of a circumcision, you know what I'm saying? Hey, you know what? Hey, straight up, I think, look, this guy is just like visually, he's like kind of fluid and stuff. If you think about him, he is terrifying, but just from a practical design kind of standpoint, I gotta be honest, this guy is kind of weak, not gonna lie. He is weak because he doesn't for the most of the film have any like distinct characteristics, you know what I'm saying? Like big eyes, big ears, the horns, tentacles, like, cause like even his face and tentacles just like change as the film goes on. So he's like very fluid. He's not that defined. At the end, he kind of has a face, but I don't know if I can even define that. So yeah, he's kind of weird in that regard, but yeah, we'll just leave it at that. Up next, we got Clover from Cloverfield. I haven't watched Cloverfield in a long time, but I remember when I first saw this guy. This guy, when I was a kid, as a dude who really liked Godzilla, this guy was terrifying. This guy was scary as hell. If you genuinely look at him, he really is just like a big, giant cauliflower. His head is just... It has that whole thing where some of it is solid and then like the brain is like pulsating in and out. Kind of has like the big fish eyes, you know what I mean? Like the big eyes. He does look kind of cute in certain regards, not gonna lie. And like he has like those little small T-Rex arms and like the front, and his back is completely like broken. Here's the thing. He is like kind of like the alien that they were like putting too much. This is like the alien that's like too much. It's causing a kind of a problem because there's too much of him to make him like unique. If you were to write in ChatGPT, write me an alien, he would throw every like alien characteristics out and make something. Cloverfield is like that. The only saving grace for him is his size, but he's a gigantic. I gotta be honest, I think he's gotta go into trash. I'm not gonna lie, like Clover is cool, he's scary, but if he lands anywhere near me, I am changing passport. I'm leaving the country forever. I'm like, nope. This place is cursed. It's cursed. Oh my god. He's a little bit goofy looking, not gonna lie. But like, you know, look, I'll leave him at trash, cause like concept wise, he's scary, he's cool, but he doesn't stand out in my opinion. This is the best example. If you were to give a 5-year-old and tell him, draw me an alien, a lot of things would be things that Clover has on him. So like, that's why he's not that. Yeah. Up next, we got the Death Angels from A Quiet Place. Okay, now these guys, I gotta be honest. I think A Quiet Place, they kind of messed it up at like just how easily these guys took over, especially day one. Day one, you get like how, you know, they land in New York and they just take over. You kind of get like why New York would fall like that. But to think the whole world would just completely go because of these guys? Nah. But no, we're not doing that. That is just stupid. This whole like universe, like the Quiet Place universe, and how these guys took over and all that shit again. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. But design-wise, this is like the thing that Clover should be. It's not too much. It's simple. It's very alien. And I gotta be honest, the whole idea of their heads like just opening up, and I really like the fact that like it just opens up on like different. It's like a shattered lemon. You know what I mean? Like every part is like it just like goes independently with each other. That is very cool. It's weird. It's not typical. It's very, dare I say, alien. And that's what makes them cool. They're very terrifying looking. And yeah, swear to God, they're going straight into solid. Straight up, these are a solid design. These things look very alien, very creepy. They like gave me deep sea vibes. Straight up, if you want to see the most alien looking shit you can think of, just look at what we have at the bottom of the ocean. There is a reason we know more about space than we do about our oceans. Because like straight up, these things look alien. They really do. And they're cool. They really are. The Death Angels, they look really cool. Not gonna lie. I think they're a solid choice. I don't think a lot of people are gonna mess with me on this one. So yeah. Next. And we're at him. We got our main man, the myth, the legend, the ball sack, E.T. You know what, actually, I just now realized, is he as popular actually as he was? Because I don't think E.T. is like the benchmark for an alien anymore. I swear to God, when this shit came out, even when I was a kid, an alien, like 6 times out of 10, E.T. Straight up just him. And like 9 times out of 10, it's things that look like E.T. E.T. is just like, here's the thing. He looks alien. He does. The thing is this. At this point in time, right now, I think E.T. is literally the perfect definition of mid. He's mid. He's mid, straight up. And here's why. He's mid because literally every single positive and every single negative applies to him at the same time. He is both at the same time too humanoid and like, you know, it's cliche right now, but at the same time, he came out when he was not too humanoid and too cliche. He at the same time is cool, but overused. He is alien but familiar. He is like so perfectly down the middle that literally every single argument can go. I can say that he is peak because he is, you know, the original and the progenitor and everything started with E.T. and he popularized or I can go, he's basic, he's lame, he looks like a ball sack, he doesn't look cool. All that applies as well. He is literally, I would say, the template though. I really would. He's got the giraffe neck. He's got the binocular head. He's got the vibrator finger. He really is a good benchmark. And now, literally, everything needs to be just better than him to be in solid or to be in like peak. The reason why, for instance, Calvin is below him, because Calvin, like I said, he doesn't have like a characteristic. You could say what like E.T. kind of like, you can like kind of vaguely describe E.T. and like draw him out. Clover is a little bit worse because like Clover is literally a derivative of everything E.T. kind of like is. The weird like body kind of like shapes, the colors, the skins, the stuff like that, the big eyes, and E.T. derivative is adjacent. Gifted. You could maybe like say the exact same thing for like maybe the kaijus from Pacific Rim, because those are technically aliens. For instance, if they were on this list, because they're not, they would be much higher. Is like, oh, they look like Godzilla. Yes, they do, but they're cool. They really are. Clover is not as cool. He just isn't. He really like got the short end of the stick. But E.T. I think is mid. I think my point stands why he's mid, and we're gonna leave it at that. Up next we got the Na'vi. I'm gonna be honest, I love the Avatar films. Yeah, I said it. Avatar is probably one of the only franchises, you know, like the Marvels and the stuff, that I give a damn about. Probably the only ones, because like these films just live and die off the vibes. The stories are basic to like just stupid. The characters are like meh. It is so bland, but when you throw that blandness in a really creative world, a world that looks appealing to look at, with music and like simple, tried and true, you've seen it 1,000 times, stories and concepts, it hits my guy. It hits. I love Dune. Fucking love Dune. Dune looks, the color palette is literally every single sandpaper I have to grind out all the metal I work on the side. It all looks brown and gray and sand. That's what Dune is. And Marvel, when it was good, even when it was good, it was like, what are we? Some kind of Marvel? You know what I mean? It's just like, it can't take itself seriously. That's one of the few things I really hated about the new Superman. I really hated it. Oh, well, let's make everything a joke. But it was colorful and vibrant and design. Like, okay, that's another one that I'm like kind of like getting interested in. I really hope they keep this up, what they did with Superman. But Avatar is one of those series that it takes itself seriously. Like, it really like tries to deal with like difficult topics, but it looks cool. It's vibrant. It's beautiful. And when it comes to the Na'vi, I think straight up, I'm kind of in denial of if I should put them at solid, because they're very humanoid. Let's be honest, they are. But here's the thing: I like blue is like my favorite color. They look cool blue. I like that they're like kind of like these slender Eldari looking androgynous, you know, kind of, you know, things. They have the whole like a native thing going, you know, be it either Native American, Peloponnesian, stuff like that. It's cool. Nah, I gotta be honest with myself. Yeah, they're mid. Yeah, they're mid. But they're better than E.T. Straight up, they're better than E.T. I'm not gonna even lie about that, but they're mid. I can't put them at solid. I would kind of leave them at solid, personally. Yeah, they're just basic. They look like humans, but they're like kind of crossbred with like blue Eldari. I just realized just looking at them, they're cool, but I really don't like how they proportionately made literally their legs freakishly long. I just remember that scene where like, in the first film, where like Jake Sully wakes up and he starts running, and you see when he stands next to the other, their legs are freakishly long. They look weird. I mean, yeah, they look alien, you could say, but like they're cool looking. But yeah, I gotta be honest, they're a little bit like basic. They're lean more towards the solid, but I gotta be fair. Fair is fair, man. We'll leave them there. Up next, we got The Thing from The Thing. This one's tough because John Carpenter's The Thing is kind of like very weird to put on this film because it's literally formless, you can say. It doesn't have a concrete form. Literally everything I said about Calvin applies to The Thing. But here's the difference about The Thing, I would say. Where unlike Calvin just grew and Calvin was Calvin, The Thing is like the, you know, body snatcher thing. It shifts and morphs and like grows and like it takes an existing thing and twists it. But here's the thing, what I think it makes it really cool, whatever it takes and whatever it twists, I really think it's cool. Not gonna lie, it's sick as hell, my guy. It is sick, but all that straight up, that whole what he does to the dogs. Oh my god. Or like when they clear, you know the scene I'm talking about. The Thing is just grotesque and sticky and gooey, and it makes it really kind of cool. Not gonna lie, I like the idea that it is just a thing that completely just morphs and perverses everything that we know of biology. Because it can also replicate everything, at the same time it can be very like normal. That might be a minus, a big minus looking at normal, but like it does that as a disguise. And as soon as like you put fire or anything next to it and it starts changing immediately just out of panic completely, it like, yeah, I'm gonna yeah, this one's going straight into solid. Yeah, it's right there. I think it's not completely gonna be in peak just because of that fact that it doesn't actually have a definitive form that we can say like this is what they look like. It doesn't. The Thing, for me, when I think of The Thing, is not the poster of the guy. It's not. Fun fact, that poster was made like 2-3 days before like everything needed to be shipped. Like where they're like, hey bro, we need to know what's the poster's gonna be. And Carpenter was like, or one of the people in the production, I don't know if it was actually him, but he was like, they wrote to one of his friends and they were like, can you make me something about The Thing? And this is what the artist came up with. It's a really cool poster and design, not gonna lie, but like, that's not The Thing. We don't know what it is. So kind of like one of its strengths is really one of its weaknesses as well. So yeah, I think we're gonna have to leave it solid. Yeah. Next. Up next, we got the Xenomorph! Oh, buddy! Woo! Now we're in the good shit. Now we are in the territory where we can... Okay, let's discuss aliens. I don't know what Geiger was on, but him and Ridley, hands down, bar none, created one of the most not only terrifying aliens, but I would say one of, without a doubt, definitely most terrifying things of all time. The Xenomorph. The head, the back, the tail, the legs, the tongue, the blood, the everything about this thing screams alien. And that is why I swear to God, this shit's going into peak. Look, we're gonna be honest, there's nowhere else you could have leave the Xenomorph. But all from the drone all the way to the queen, these guys are just terrifying. They are, swear to God, out of like the aliens I would go up against, this one, he is killable. We've seen it. You can get him out. You can take him out. But man, would it be terrifying to try and get rid of this guy. Really terrifying. And you know what really makes like the whole alien aspect of him the most terrifying? The fact that it doesn't have eyes. I cannot tell how genius that choice was. Geiger, Scott, I don't know who came up with it. That was the best idea. It doesn't see, brother, and yet it sees. It is. Oh my God. I love the Xenomorph. The design, it is straight up insane. And you know when I knew exactly why this was insane? When I watched Alien for the first time. That was my introduction. I think the introduction for Xenomorphs to me was Aliens vs. Predator. That was the introduction. I watched Alien later on in life. The shot of it hanging, and you know exactly the shot I'm talking about if you watch the film with the chains, that shot, it's so good. Like you can watch it and the fact that you just can't tell what is that. And some people can't even completely see him. I've seen people genuinely be like, I genuinely did not see him in a shot. I'm like, how can you not? I immediately catch him, but the fact that some people just didn't clock him in, I'm like, oh my God. As soon as I saw that shot, I was like, yep, that's the winner. Yeah, straight up. Yep, Xenomorph's the best. Next. And finally, we've got the Yautja. Oh boy. You know when I said the Xenomorph is the best? I lied. Nah, he's peak. This guy's peak. The Predator is the peak. The Predator is the peak. The Yautja is the peak. He's the peak. You know how I said I got introduced to Alien very later on in my life? The Predator is the exact opposite. I watched Schwarzenegger go up against this dude when I was like 10, and it was the best thing I've ever seen in my whole life. Come on, kill me, do it. Oh my God. Whoever came up with the Yautja, with the Predator, everything about him. Barale, you deserve a Oscar. Like, this is so good. This is like peak Alien to me. Straight up. The Yautja is fantastic. He's humanoid, like the Na'vi, like E.T. I know, I get it. But the dreads, and more importantly, the face with the mouth. The Yautja's face, I would say, is literally the most peak Alien shit ever. Because, again, I got introduced with the Predator, with like the Predator and Aliens versus Predator. And if you've seen Aliens versus Predator, like, you know, like, who kind of like won there. It really, I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little bit biased. I just think the Yautja are cooler than the aliens. I just think they are. I just love that the Yautja is like an alien that is literally a hunter. Like the Xenomorph is like an alien, but it's very animalistic. It's an animal, especially the drones. But the Yautja is an alien, but it has sentience, my guy. The reason why I think the Tyranids are a bit cooler, they're obviously like the Tyranids are inspired by the Xenomorph, obviously, but the Tyranids are instantly a bit cooler than the Xenomorph is because, at least with the hive mind thing, it's cool. It's the same with like the Queen, but with the Tyranids, they can kind of like go rogue and then like, you know, slowly start doing their own thing. They can kind of like, we've seen that happen in the books. But I don't even know if the Xenomorphs are able to do that. They really are an animal. But even that, if we take away the Xenomorphs and the Tyranids, and even the Tyranids are a lot better even because like they have different flavors, like the aliens, but like, you know what I mean? It's like within the same company. The Yautja, they have sentience. They think. They're hunters. The dreads on these guys, holy shit, they look good. Oh my god, they look insanely good. Their tech, their how they sound. The aliens look leagues and bounds better than how do they sound. The squeal, the Yautja. That whole like kind of like, that is alien, dude. It is, and I swear to God, I think they are what I would consider peak alien, and I think they're the coolest designs. And it is kind of like, it makes sense that these two are at the top. Because these two, they're such well-designed characters that they lasted this long because of that. This is just a testament to how well-designed both of these two are. And really, like, I love both of them. And this is just like kind of like, which one do you a little bit prefer? I just prefer the whole hunter vibe aesthetic. The mouth, the dreads, the head, the eyes, all of that. It works for them. And I think it is the most peak looking alien we've ever seen. And I think we ever probably will see. So that's my list of all the aliens. I think, if I'm being honest, I think I was kind of cooking with this one. I really think I was fair. I think I was fair. Every single point I brought up, I think stands. I think for this one, I'm kind of fair. I don't know if people are gonna probably fight with me on this one. Maybe for the Thing, and maybe for Clover, that might change. Or like for E.T., where would you put him because of seniority? But everything else, I think I'm on the money. What did you guys think? Do you guys think I'm on the money? Do you think I'm cooking, stewing? Let me know. But other than that, I would just like to say this. Thank you for watching. Please join the streams every day at 5 in the afternoon CEST time. As of now, I'm still a little bit of a break. I am due to some personal reasons, but I will get back to it very soon. Other than that, all I have to say is thank you for watching. I hope you're doing well. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Share the videos around. Other than that, I hope you're doing well. Please eat, please hydrate, please exercise. Thank you for watching, and thank you.